Hi everybody, I'm Tony Lewis. I'm Professional Services Director for RHE Global. Part of my remit is to take an overview in respect of the training that RHE devise, construct and ultimately deliver. And today I'm with Kathy Rodenhurst, and Kathy is about to start on the delivery of two brand new courses for RHE. The two courses, which Kathy will give us a little more information about in a moment, are in connection with food. They're food related. One is on vac packing, and the other is on the really important subject of sous vide. And we'll hear from Kathy about the courses and what they're going to cover and who they're targeted at. So without further ado, I'll introduce Kathy to you. So this is Kathy Rodenhurst. Kathy's been involved in teaching and training environmental health for years with a number of universities across the UK. So hi, Kathy, welcome to RHE Global. And would you like to begin by just telling our customers a little bit about you, just to kick things off?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Tony. And I'm thrilled to be here today and to be on board with the delivery of these two exciting new food safety-based courses. So as Tony said, I'm Kathy. I've been around in environmental health and specialising in food safety for a number of years now. We don't want to say how many. Teaching as a senior lecturer across a number of universities, also working as a food consultant and involved with training as well. So, and also working as a practitioner, which of course is really, really important. So I'm really thrilled to be involved with the delivery of these courses from a practitioner to practitioners. So I hope that will make for exciting. I'm listening.
Brilliant. As ever with RHE Global, all of our courses, in fact, all of the services that we provide, and thank you for the little reminder, they're devised by EHOs, they're about environmental health issues, and they're for environmental health people. So without further ado, would you want to just give us a flavour of the sort of thing you're going to be covering on the vac packing course that you're going to be offering?
Yeah, absolutely, Tony. And I think this is a really exciting course, and I think there's a real need for these short courses at the moment as well, because whilst at university the curriculum is wide, what we don't do is to focus in on issues like vacuum packing and sous vide cookery in immense detail. So it's great to have these to complement the courses that everybody will have done. Some people quite some time ago, and of course some people will be newly qualified. So the aim of the vacuum packaging course is really to instill confidence in practitioners that may, as I've said, have been qualified for 20 years or may have just graduated. And the aim of the course is to explain a little bit about what vacuum packaging is, why it's so popular, what the benefits are, but also focusing in on the risks as well, and having some time to discuss with fellow practitioners about those intrinsic risks and the kinds of examples that we as practitioners and inspectors are faced with when we're out inspecting and auditing on a day-to-day basis, so that we know what sort of questions we need to be asking, how we determine risk, and the sorts of controls that we need to expect and need to be looking for to provide assurance to ourselves that the systems that we're looking at are in fact safe in terms of HACCP and due diligence. So the course is going to be split into 6 sections. It's not going to be death by PowerPoint. We're going to be looking at real life examples. We are going to be discussing scenarios together. And of course, with scenarios that will bring discussion and a number of different viewpoints of the options that may be appropriate to take in certain situations, but just to have the time out from the day job to be able to think about risk and think about options for action, I'm sure will be very welcome to those attending the course.
Fantastic. It sounds really exciting. I almost want to come and do it myself.
Well, you're very welcome to, Tony.
Thank you. I may take you up on that. So in relation to the other course that you're going to start and deliver for RHE Global, which is all about sous vide, Tell us a little bit about that. What's that course going to be about?
Yeah, well, in relation to sous vide cookery, and I know from my teaching background, because I always keep in contact with students when they graduate, people get in touch with me from time to time saying things like, oh, I had to deal with a really difficult FBO today. It was in relation to a sous vide or a vacuum packer, and I really wasn't sure what to do. So starting really from basics in relation to sous vide cookery, Tony, a bit of a MasterChef introduction, what it is, what it does, and it is a very complex process, definitely in terms of the process itself.
Yeah.
That can be a number of stages, which can be a bit mind-boggling. So we're going to be looking at the various options for sous vide cookery, how complex it is and how some chefs will go about preparing their products for putting through sous vide. There might be additional reheating or additional cookery, yeah, which some people may not be aware of. So it's really lots of tips and hints of what to expect. Again, what's acceptable, yeah, what sort of controls are we looking for in terms of the water bath and the vacuum packing, and the dishes themselves. Again, to try and give officers more confidence with the questions that they're asking, and when they're out actually in that inspection environment, to know what to ask for and what to do if they're unsure.
That's equally, it sounds excellent. One question that I've got though, do the two courses come as a pair? Do you have to do one before you do the other, or can you just come along and do either depending on what your skill set is?
Yeah. So thanks for bringing up that point, Tony. And what we decided was that the vacuum packing needed to be a prerequisite to the sous vide course. And this was in consultation, after consulting with lots of practitioners and colleagues up and down the country about their feelings and what their training needs were. Yeah. So because the vacuum packing is an intrinsic part of sous vide, it doesn't make sense to repeat a whole course within a course. I hope that people will book the courses as a pair. Yeah. The sous vide leads beautifully from the vacuum packing course, and just 2 weeks apart. So hopefully people will be keen to book them. But what I will say is come prepared to interact and discuss. These are not courses to just put on in the background when you're doing the ironing. These are really interactive courses, short, punchy, snappy, and I hope that people will enjoy this sort of alternative delivery.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you for that overview. And as ever with RHE courses, they are all interactive. I mean, one of the things I teach several of them, and one of the things I say to all of the people that come along is, I want to hear from you. It's really boring for us as presenters to be just talking to a screen. We'd like to see you. We absolutely want to hear from you, and we want to hear your stories. We want to hear about your experiences, and the two courses that we've got here are no different in that respect. It sounds like, you know, whoever comes along is going to have a really, really interesting time with both of the courses.
Yes, I really hope so. I've given a lot of thought to the structure of the courses, Tony, to try and make them as exciting and topical as possible. And really, just to emphasise the fact that, of course, this is a safe environment for us all to talk about the things we don't know, the gaps in our knowledge, and to share that experience with one another. We haven't got any FBOs in the room. We may have a mix, and I hope we have a mix of experienced officers and newly qualified officers, and that will allow everybody to share their experiences and for us to learn from one another. And it's all about just having more confidence in the inspection environment by having more knowledge about these processes.
Fantastic, Kathy. Thank you very much for today and for talking to our customers. I'm looking forward to your courses running, and I'm looking forward to seeing delegates join those courses. Booking's going really, really well at the moment, and hopefully these are going to be two new great products in the RHE stable that are going to run and run and run.
Brilliant. Thanks, Tony. I'm looking forward to seeing all of our delegates in March, hopefully for our vacuum packaging course, closely followed by our sous vide A to Z, if you like, as well. So nice to see you today.
Yeah, thanks, Kathy. Really appreciate it.